required to put in the work. You may need to read some of this information 3 or 4 times and work through it on a spreadsheet or piece of paper. There will be no extremely complex math, so a calculator, pad of paper, and a pencil will be just fine. You may also want to spend some time on the www.closeyourwealthgaptools.com website to work with our tools to figure out your own situation. We have taken the complex work of putting together spreadsheets and done that work for you so that you just need to plug in your info. I do promise you, though, that if you are willing to put in the work, this information will be your fastest and most sustainable path to achieving your dream lifestyle. I'm just like you. Let me first tell you a little about myself. I want you to know who I am, primarily so you can understand I am not exceptional. I was not given an advantage over you, and if you follow what I teach you in this book, I am confident you will be more successful than you have ever imagined. My name is Rob Luna. I am a Cuban-Italian-American who grew up in Los Angeles, California during the 1980s and early 1990s in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. My mother was addicted to drugs, and my older brother got caught up in heavy gang violence that dominated Southern California during the late 1980s and 1990s. He was eventually imprisoned, leaving me to navigate a very tough environment alone. I had many close friends who were killed by drive-by shootings. And in short, my life was purely about survival as a child and teenager. Survival in the sense of not only dodging gunshots daily, but also having to feed and clothe myself from about 11 years of age on. From the perspective I have today, it was a tough life. There was no running water at times, our electricity turned off usually for a few days each month, and we moved from apartment to apartment just to dodge eviction notices. Financial literacy was obviously not a hot topic of conversation in my house. What necessity taught me, though, was the fine art of entrepreneurism, which delivered some of the best financial and economic lessons of my life at a very early age. As a young entrepreneur, I was constantly hustling. I would negotiate a broker fee with neighborhood kids to sell their old bicycles on consignment. I peddled $5 candy bars door to door, washed cars, cut lawns, and picked up whatever job people needed done to earn a buck. As I grew closer to adulthood, it seemed as though the gang violence in my neighborhood was increasing daily. I avoided much of it by staying involved in sports, baseball, then boxing, and finally wrestling. It was sports that offered me an opportunity to get out of Southern California at 18 and go to Arizona, where my coach was able to secure a job for me, money for college, and a chance to wrestle. He told me simply, "This is your one chance. Don't F it up." I took that to heart. My wrestling career was short-lived, but it was an education that saved my life and put me on a path to achieve a lifestyle that I still sometimes must pinch myself about. They say that we make plans and God laughs at us. My life is a testament to that. My plan in my freshman year at college was to become a child psychiatrist. I was hired by a company working with at-risk youth. This allowed me to get experience in the field, pay my bills, and attend school in the evenings. Within a very short period of time, the company filed for bankruptcy, and I needed to find something to be able to make my rent payment. At the time, the newspaper was still the first place to go for job ads. I opened the paper and immediately spotted a big ad that read, "Hiring stockbroker trainees." I had no idea what that meant, but I had seen the movie Wall Street and knew that stockbrokers made a lot of money. Even though I was broke, I always aspired to achieve the better things in life. I also understood those high aspirations would take a lot of money to realize. I applied for the job with about 100 others. I was one of the lucky few selected. I was told by the hiring manager, Pat Donovan, who had a heavy Brooklyn accent, that I was hired because I had the best tie, so they were going to give me a shot. Funny thing is that it was a tie I could barely afford at the time, but it turned out to be my best investment ever. Thank you, Nordstrom. I was all in on this career because I truly knew it was my one opportunity that may not come again. I spent every hour I could soaking up financial content, earned numerous designations, more degrees, and read every